25th at overtime. Great comeback by the Sandstoners. Either club could have won that one. So I guess, and it'll all be settled here tonight. This is the big one.
This is the one that determines who goes on and who goes home. And both teams are out on the ice, skating around, getting ready for the start of this one. And we've got a great crowd here again. The first Potsdam game here at the Massena Arena, the overtime game, was a great crowd, the best we've had in several years. And it looks like this one is going to be very near that, and an excellent crowd here. The bleachers are filling up, and there's still a whole bunch of people out in the lobby and people lining the rink at both ends. This should certainly be an outstanding hockey game. I think the fans are anticipating a good game, and I certainly know both teams are up for this and ready to go.
Well, again, that's the anticipation, the eagerness is always there when these two teams play. But again, when everything is so important to get to that championship game, when the winner goes on, the loser finish, it's so dramatic that just adds the additional tension. You can cut it with a knife here up in the broadcast booth. The Potsdam broadcasters feel the same thing, the same way you and I do, and the rest of our staff. And I'm sure it's likewise throughout the stands. It's a very exciting game. It should be a top-notch hockey game. Both of these clubs, you can flip a coin and cover both of them. They're that close to each other.
I guess you're right about that, Dave. And one of the teams has to take control here tonight and win this game and move on to the championship against the Canton Golden Bears.
We not only have a large crowd, we have a very vocal crowd here tonight, and it's just going to add to the excitement. This is what high school sports is all about. I think we're going to have a barn burner here tonight.
Oh, I don't think there's any doubt about that, and we're certainly looking forward to a good game. And if you want to head down and see some excellent hockey, you have a chance to do so here tonight. Head on down and plan to come in and check this out and bring your radio along. Right now, the introduction of the starting lineups. Sean Grant, the very fine goaltender for the Potsdam Sandstoners, being introduced first.
Sean comes in with tonight's game with a record of 15-4 and very, very impressive credentials.
On defense, it will be Dave Hewlin and Tim Kelleher.
Hewlin is a senior, Kelleher just a sophomore.
And up front, Mike McCabe, the very fine forward. He'll be centering Aaron Weeger and Jack Charlebois. And Charlebois, I think, is the leading goal getter in the league. He's got something like 25 goals this year.
I think McCabe might have just two more, Jerry.
Okay.
I think McCabe's got 27 goals and 26 assists for 53 points.
And now for the Massena Red Raiders. Justin White will get the nod in nets.
Justin coming into tonight's game with a goals against average of 2.00 and a save percentage of .870.
Frank Joy and Ryan Kerwin will be the starting defensive pair for Massena. Up front, of course, Josh Spanberg will be out there with Jason Converse and Corey David.
Number 17, Jason Converse.
And there's the starting lineups for both clubs.
In the three previous encounters, the Sandstoners have not faced these new combinations that the Raiders put together towards the end of the season. In fact, it was the St. Joe's swing up through here, I believe, and Suffern. Is that right? When they put them together after that.
That's right. That's right.
So Potsdam hasn't seen these combinations.
And Wayne Humel and Bobby Preston are the officials tonight, and Emily Manor will sing the national anthem. And with a roar, you can tell the crowd is ready.
And that rendition of the national anthem, Ms. Emily Manor doing an outstanding job as usual. The crowd is ready. The coaches are ready. And looking across the way at the Sandstoner coaching staff, the three of them, that's Mark Domingos, I do believe, one of the assistant coaches, and Mark DeRushy along with head coach Joe Stark. And right next to them, head coach Tim Long and Ed Latham, assistant coach, Matt Hart, assistant coach, and Jovan Marsh, assistant coach.
And it's Bobby Preston standing at center ice getting ready to drop the puck to get us going with this hockey game. The Section 10 Division I semifinal between the Massena Red Raiders and the Potsdam Sandstoners. Again, as you mentioned, Potsdam has beaten Massena 2 out of 3 times this year. The Raiders would dearly love to even up that season series here tonight.
Yes, and they would love to even up the season series, and they'd love to have the opportunity, as would Potsdam, to play in that championship game on Saturday. This is what it's all about. The youngsters work all year long. You can't get to that Final Four unless you get out of the semifinals.
Off the face-off, we're underway, and it's Big Jack Charleboy dumping it right on, and White handles it for Massena and controls. Raiders control in behind the net. Frankie Joy with it, flipping it to Spanberg. He comes in behind. Spanberg circles, wraps it around the boards, comes up to the blue line. Ulan pinches in, keeps it in, bounces to the blue line, sits there, and it's Converse picking it up. Flipping ahead for Spanberg, knocked away from him, comes back in the Massena zone. Joy is there to shovel it ahead. He drops it over to Kerwin. Kerwin starts out of his own end, has it knocked away. Puck still in the Massena zone. Here comes McCabe. He's taken out of the play by Spanberg, and Frank Joy picks up the puck and starts it out. Here's Joy getting by the check, out to neutral ice from the red line, lifts it high in the air, deep in Potsdam territory. Corey David checking in after it. Puck goes in the corner. Potsdam try to control it. They move to the blue line, but not out. Dion keeps it in, slides it to the slot, but is clear to center ice. P.J. Rochford, who's back in the lineup tonight after serving his suspension, has the puck knocked away, but is cleared into the corner. Mike Lapointe dumps it in behind for Mike Dion. Dion starts ahead. His pass knocked down by John Hughes. Hughes has the puck in the corner. Circles around, gets by the check, slides it through, but it's knocked a sprawling check by P.J. Rochford, and the puck cleared out by the Massena Red Raiders. Dumped right back in the zone. Rochford tries to kick it ahead and does, out to neutral ice. Picked up by Larry Allen, Potsdam defenseman, circles back to his own blue line, backhands it in the Massena zone. Rochford is there. Rochford, and the puck gets tied up in somebody's neck brace, but finally it's out to center ice. Here comes Michael Lapointe. Gets by one defenseman, slides it across the goal mouth. Nobody there. Puck trickles in the corner. Seth Service with it. Service gets by a check, and the puck taken away. Stoners move it out. Comes out to the neutral zone. Dumped right back in the zone. Larry Allen picking it up for Potsdam. Allen moves it ahead. Comes into the Massena zone. Here's an opportunity for Casey Ross, and he's checked out of the play by Jamie Currier. Back checking, did a good job. Raiders control. Out to center ice. Headman goes to Currier a little bit too far. Allen picks it up there. Bangs it back out to neutral ice to Abe Adams. Here's Adams across the blue line. Dumps it in the corner, Massena zone. Lloyd Howe in after it there for Potsdam. Puck controlled by the Raiders, though. Stolen away by Seth Service. Headman goes to O'Shea. He's got Currier. Shovels it ahead to Currier. He chases it down. Knocked away. Comes back out. Dumped back in to lay offsides on Massena as Potsdam controls. The Raiders still didn't clear the zone, apparently, but Potsdam will take it out. It's Ulan. Here's Ulan dumping from the red line into Massena territory. Puck goes in behind the net. Around the boards it comes. Here's an opportunity for the Sandstoners back to the blue line. Bouncing around there. Back into the corner it goes. Adams again. Flips it in behind for McCabe. Has it taken away. And P.J. Rochford skates out, then turns it back again. He and McCabe spar. Rochford comes up with it. Flips it ahead for Corey David. David starts it ahead. David has it taken away by McCabe. McCabe circles out by the blue line. His shot. Scores! Mike McCabe gives Potsdam a 1-0 lead as Massena a little sloppy in their own end, and it cost them a goal.
Not a little sloppy, a lot, very sloppy in their own end. Had an opportunity to clear the zone and just procrastinated, came out very slowly. McCabe up behind the Raider player, came in behind Corey David, lifted his stick, and just stole the puck, circled, went across the ice, and at a very tough angle, let go a slap shot, and it beat Justin White low along the ice to the far side, and the Sandstoners out early on that very important first goal, and they've been very successful. They've outscored Massena 4-2 in the three previous games in that first period.
I think Potsdam, have they scored the first goal in all the games?
Yes, I believe they have.
I'm
not sure about that third game. I know they did in the first two games. So but they've outscored the Raiders 4-2 aggregate in the three previous games in the first period.
And the Potsdam Sandstoners have jumped ahead 1-0 here. Off the face-off, David with the puck gets tied up, and Potsdam controls. Here comes Aaron Weegar, loses it at the blue line to Dion. His head man intercepted by McCabe again. Here's McCabe, slides it in behind the net. I think the Massena goaltender, White, got a piece of it. P.J. Rochford ahead to Spanberg. Here comes Josh. Spanberg out to neutral ice. He's got Corey David with him. Takes it across. Spanberg drop pass intercepted. Charlebois dumps it out to neutral ice. P.J. Rochford picks it up there for Massena. Rochford backhand pass. Corey David goes by him into the Potsdam zone. Allen is there. Head man to Charlebois. Charlebois across the line. His shot. White makes a save. The rebound in behind the net. Frank Joy with it. Flips ahead for Spanberg. He tips it to the blue line, following up his Converse. Ahead to Spanberg. Josh tied up into the boards. Puck comes free. Dumped into the Massena zone. Trickles inside of the net. Back is Frank Joy to pick it up. Joy goes to Kerwin on the other side. Head man stolen in front. Here's a chance for Hoos, and he's knocked just wide of the net. Puck in the corner, picked up by Robbie Bicknell, has it stolen away, and Massena moves it ahead out to neutral ice. Adam Blaze. Blaze, headman to Pribble. Pribble goes off sides, has to wait, and the puck is cleared. Frank Joy goes to Mike Lapointe. Lapointe flips it, meant for Blaze, a little bit too hard. Kelleher goes back in after it. Flips it around the boards for Scotty Fisher for Potsdam, and Fisher bangs it to neutral ice. Ryan Kerwin is there to gather it in at the Massena blue line. His pass intercepted by Hewlin. He breaks across, winds up, shot, score! And Potsdam goes ahead 2-0. And again, a bad pass, this time in the neutral zone, and the Stoners have jumped out to a 2-0 lead.
David Hewlin, the big defenseman for the Sandstoners, read that cross-ice pass. He just stepped up from the blue line, intercepted it right about the red line. Basically, it was a 2-on-1 situation, and Justin White was sitting way back in the crease, never came out to challenge, and Hewlin just blew a slap shot from about 40 feet out, just about the top of the circle. Looks like the Raiders are going to make a goal change right here.
Well, they didn't waste any time at all, as Luca Richards will come in the net, and he'll replace Justin White.
Tough call for Coach Long. He doesn't want to do that, young man, but he's, I think, 3 shots, and 2 of them have gone in right now, and feels he can't, he's got to make a change right now. Possibly, we've seen him do this before against Potsdam up in the Canton tournament. But the Sandstoners have struck early here at got 2 within the 10-16 mark, and that first one was at the 3:09 mark. Mike McCabe unassisted after he stole the puck off the Raider. I think it was Corey David. He lifted his stick and sent a low slap shot that caught the long side against Justin White, and then just at 4:44, just a little over a minute later, Hewlin from Tim Kelleher. I don't know how Kelleher is going to pick up an assist on that, but Hewlin intercepted the Raider pass and stepped across the blue line. Not another player, Potsdam player, touched it, but they did give the assist to Kelleher.
So Potsdam jumps out early here. They've scored 2 goals in the first 5 minutes of play, and Massena in a hole already.
Raiders looking, this is not after the fact, but when we had a stoppage of play, I was going to mention how they look a little tentative out there. They need someone to step up and take charge. They're telegraphing their passes. They're a little shaking their own end, not being able to catch the puck as it comes around the dasher, a little nonchalant. That's an indication. They're not really nonchalant, but that's an indication that they're nervous out there. And well, this is a good club. They've got the ability to bounce back. Let's see, got to take the bit between the teeth. And
well, the thing Massena's got to remember is Potsdam was down by 2 with just a few minutes left and came back.
You bet.
Massena's got almost the whole game. So if they settle down, they can certainly make this into a hockey game. Potsdam controlling the puck off the faceoff. Luca Richards in the net for Massena now. It comes out to neutral ice. Stolen away by Service. Here comes Seth across the blue line. Trying to drop it back. It's knocked away out to neutral ice. P.J. Rochford gathers it in there. Flips it over to Dion. Dion headman to Courier, and he dumps it on the backhand deep inside Potsdam territory. Larry Allen behind his own net. Skates to the right side, moves it out. Bangs it ahead to the neutral zone. It trickles all the way down the ice. Richards is going to play it in behind the net for P.J. Rochford. Over to Dion, around the boards. Jamie Courier. Courier has it knocked away, and the puck goes in behind the net. Now P.J. Rochford in the corner. He's taken into the boards. Puck comes free to Rochford. He'll skate it, move it ahead, out to the wing. O'Shea. O'Shea directs it back to the Potsdam line. Kelleher dumps it right back to the Massena zone. Rochford flips it ahead to O'Shea again. This time he steps by the check, takes it across, trying to drop the pass. It comes to Service. Service out by the blue line, makes his move, has the puck taken away, and Mike McCabe gathers it in and starts back the other way. Here comes McCabe. Head of steam across the blue line, intercepted, back out to neutral ice. Here's O'Shea, ridden into the boards by McCabe. The puck bounces in behind the net, Massena zone. Puck moves to Courier. Courier bangs it ahead to neutral ice. Kelleher's pass intercepted. O'Shea, he's going to backhand it in the Potsdam zone as Massena will make a line change. Puck in behind the Potsdam net. David Ulen with it. Potsdam leading on the A1 TV and Appliance scoreboard 1-0. And they just flip it to McCabe, who dumps it in the Massena zone. Here's Joy around behind the net. Rips it around the boards for Spanberg. Fisher pinches in, flips it back in behind. Bouncing puck in the corner. Stoners try to control. In front, here's a shot. I think that hit the goalpost. Puck bounces to the blue line, and it's backhanded into the corner. In behind the Massena zone, here's Fisher. Joy takes him into the boards. Kerwin gathers the puck in. Headman doesn't clear the zone. Dumped right back in behind the net. Here's Joy with it, throwing a check. The puck comes free to Kerwin around to Corey David. David, headman, and it's dumped out to center ice by Jason Converse all the way down the ice, and icing will be called on Massena. 7:50 remaining in the first period. On the A1 TV and Appliance scoreboard, Sandstoners lead the Raiders 2-0.
And the Sandstoners are just got everything in sync, flowing smooth, all the passes right on the button, catching everything. The Raiders on the other side of the coin right now couldn't catch a cold if they were naked in January outside the arena. It's really, they're really uptight, and they just got to settle themselves down.
Here comes Massena off the face-off. Les Pribble with it. Headman on the stick of LaPointe feeds PJ, and PJ Rochford dumps it in behind the net. Picked up there by Andy Smith, Potsdam defenseman, trying to clear the zone, kept in momentarily, then dumped out to neutral ice. Here comes LaPointe again across the blue line. Tries to flip it in the corner. Puck behind the net. Centering pass hits the side of the net. Wrap around attempt by Blaze. His shot, score! Adam Blaze. And Massena gets one back here. And the scoreboard reads 2-1 now in favor of Potsdam. That's a huge goal for Massena.
A huge goal, and with 7:25, they played over 7 minutes, and that was Massena's first shot on goal. And they come up with a goal. First shot, Adam Blaze dug the puck out of the corner to the left of Sean Grant. There was a lot of traffic in front. He went in behind, and somehow he wrapped around through all that traffic. Grant hugging that short side. He slid that puck in along the ice, and the Raiders are back in this game.
Boy, I guess so. That was a huge goal for Massena. Just a huge goal. Here comes Les Pribble across the blue line. Kelleher takes him into the boards, and the puck squirts free. Potsdam controls. In the corner now, LaPointe goes after it. Ulen tries to clear. Blaze gets a piece of it, but then Ulen comes up with it. Excuse me, that's Lloyd Howe. Lloyd Howe just flips it in the Massena zone, in behind the net. Here's Frank Joy with it. Joy gets forechecked, gets knocked down. The puck sits in the circle. Finally, Joy gets back on his feet, moves it out to center ice. David Ulen is there, bangs it to the line, and back in the Massena zone it goes. Here's Joy after it, flips it around to Mike LaPointe, who goes back to Joy. Frank starts out now. Headman, intercepted again by Charleboy, and he flips it behind the Massena net. Mike LaPointe with it, slides it out, doesn't get it out of the zone though, it bounces back in the corner. Joy with it again. Potsdam not really putting on an aggressive forecheck, but they're keeping Massena bottled up anyway.
Standing back and reading because Massena's telegraphing everything.
Here comes Massena moving in the zone. Service has it knocked away, but Courier is there to flip it ahead for O'Shea. O'Shea in the corner, gets tied up by McCabe, and the puck's underneath them. It squirts free, but the official lost sight of it, and we'll have a face-off in the Potsdam zone. 6:04 remaining in the first period on the A1 TV and Appliance scoreboard. Potsdam leads Massena 2-1.
And you mentioned a big goal, a huge goal at the 7:35 mark. Adam Blaze, his 11th of the year. Mike Dion and Mike Lapointe picking up the assist. And again, like to see the tape on that one, how Adam was able to
thread the needle, huh?
Get that, thread the needle. That's a great description because there was so much traffic in front, but needless to say, he did.
Off the face-off, puck in the Potsdam zone, gathered up by Larry Allen, the Potsdam defenseman. Over on the other side, Smith, his head man goes off a stick, right back out to neutral ice. McCabe is there at the red line, backhands it in the Massena zone. P.J. Rochford moves it ahead. Did it get out? Apparently didn't. And it comes back to Mike Dion. He'll move it on the other side. Courier flipping it ahead, intercepted Smith. Smith's headman pass, O'Shea almost nailed it, but it comes back the other way. At the blue line, Massena pokes it away. Courier after it. Courier flipping it ahead for Service. Service trying to move it across. Massena will take it in off sides, but Potsdam clears. Comes back to the Massena line. P.J. Rochford moving it ahead. McCabe intercepts, dumps it, and he wants off. As the puck trickles into the Massena zone, and nobody from Massena went to pick it up, but now it's poked away. As racing in there was Robbie Bicknell. Now the puck back to the blue line. Allen keeps it in. In the corner it goes. P.J. Rochford in behind the net, trying to go to Dion. It's intercepted by Fisher for the Sandstoners. Fisher goes to Bicknell. Bicknell gets tied up, and Dion comes away with a puck. Headman on the stick, and through the stick of Jason Converse. Allen flips it back to the Massena line. Raiders almost got caught on a line change. They still may. Here's who's a shot. And the glove save made by Luca Richards. Puck comes to Frank Joy. He'll go to P.J. Rochford on the other side. Rochford ahead to Corey David. David just moves it out. Hewlin dumps it back to the blue line. David is there. Headman goes to Spanberg, a little bit too far. Spanberg pokes at it, gets knocked down by Fisher. The puck squirts back to the Massena line, and Joy is there. Still 2-1 Potsdam in the first period. Here's the long headman pass. Racing for it, David can't catch up with it. Comes back to Spanberg. He drops it to Joy. Joy goes to Kerwin. Kerwin moving it ahead. Bangs it to Corey David. David just flips it in the Potsdam zone. Picked up there and right back out to center ice. Here comes Abe Adams. Adams across. In the Massena zone. Gets by Joy with a nice move. Takes it right in front. And the save is made by goaltender Luca Richards. Moving it ahead to the blue line and out to center ice. Hewlin is there. Hewlin dumps it back in. Joy stops it with his chest. Looked like a goalie there. Flips it ahead for Corey David. David comes up with a puck. Dumps it in the Potsdam zone. Puck trickles in behind the net. Mike Lapointe racing for it as Massena makes a line change. Lapointe is checked out of the play. Puck around the boards. Comes back to the blue line at Kerwin. Kerwin flips it right back in the corner for Massena. David Hewlin back after it. Skates out from the right side. Here comes Hewlin. His pass almost knocked down by Blaze, but it bounces across the blue line. Lapointe moves it in. Throws a check. Comes to Kerwin. He dumps it right back in the corner. In behind the net. Potsdam picking it up again. Massena trying to put a little forecheck pressure on now. Blaze almost stole it in front. Potsdam controls though. Blaze knocks it down. Poke checked away. Here's Kerwin. Back across the blue line. Centering pass in front. And the Pribble got knocked down from behind. The puck squirts free in front. And it's in the corner. Picked up by the Stoners. They try to clear. Lapointe keeps it in. Tries to flip it. Pribble gets knocked down again. And the puck comes to David Hewlin. Hewlin with it. He's going to bang it down the ice. It's going to come right on Luca Richards. He has to make the save and leave it for P.J. Rochford. Rochford moves it ahead to Lapointe. Lapointe sparring for it there, just crosses the blue line with it, and it's going to be McCabe picking it up. Headman pass. Dion intercepts, flips it ahead for Courier. Courier goes by a check, gets knocked down, but stays with it and kicks it into the zone. Puck goes in behind the Potsdam net. Still 2-1 Potsdam with 2.5 left in the first period. Puck stolen. And the puck back in the zone offsides will be the call. As the puck just came across the blue line and Timmy O'Shea didn't know it. And the whistle blew immediately.
And it's hard to hear the whistle with this huge crowd and all this excitement in here, noise. It's very difficult to hear the whistles. The Raiders have not been able to, and it's first game I've seen this year, they haven't been able to sustain any type of forechecking pressure on the Sandstorms. They've had a couple of flurries. One led to the goal by Adam Blaze. Other than that,
here's the face-off. Puck sits at the red line, dumped in the Massena zone. Comes into P.J. Rochford. Ahead to Timmy O'Shea. O'Shea banks it for Service. Service to Courier. Here comes Massena. Courier across the blue line. His shot goes in behind the net. Allen back to pick it up. Larry Allen loses the puck side of the net, and Grant sticks it into the corner. Courier is there to dig it ahead. He moves it out. Now it's Potsdam's McCabe. McCabe takes it across into the Massena zone. Dion poke checks it away. McCabe and Dion go in the corner. They both go down. The puck is still free. P.J. Rochford pokes it ahead for Courier. Massena moves it out. Headman pass on the stick of O'Shea. O'Shea all by himself. A 1-on-2 takes it in behind the net. Here's O'Shea looking to center. Nobody there but McCabe, and he's going to backhand it to the blue line. Joy with it. Flips it. His pass intercepted. Dumped down the ice, and Potsdam will pick up an icing call with 1:19 left in the first period. And on the scoreboard, the A1 TV and Appliance scoreboard, Potsdam leads at 2-1.
1:19 left in the first period, and unofficially, Massena's had one shot on goal, and that led to their only goal. This is a club that had 779 shots on goal during the course of the season, and they've just been out of sync here, but you have to credit the Sandstoners for much of that.
It's going to be Converse taking the face-off. Potsdam wins the draw. David Hewlin with it in behind the net. Here's Hewlin, has it poked away, goes to Spanberg. Here's Spanberg, knocked away from him at the last second, gets it back again. Here comes Spanberg. Has it knocked away, comes to Kerwin at the red line. Kerwin, Joy drops back to his own zone. Here comes Joy with it. He still skates it back into his own end, looks up ice, goes to Kerwin. Kerwin waved at it, missed it completely, and back comes Potsdam into the Massena zone. Who's save made by goaltender Luca Richards. Puck in behind the net, controlled by Kerwin. Trying to clear the zone, Kelleher keeps it in. Intercepted by Kerwin. Kelleher's got it, bounces. I think that hit the goalpost. And that took a weird bounce. Here's Corey David racing for it along with Kelleher. Pokes it into the Potsdam zone, right back to the Massena line. Here comes Spanberg. Spanberg overskates, and the puck knocked back in the Massena zone again. Ryan Kerwin goes after with 20 seconds left in the period. Here's Joyce Headman, almost knocked down. Puck comes to Kerwin, bangs it out to Corey David. It stops by the Potsdam blue line. McCabe picks it up with 10 seconds left. Here's McCabe. Lapointe knocks the puck away, but he poke checks it out to neutral ice. And we're down to 3 seconds. It goes to Kerwin. Kerwin dumps it in the Potsdam zone. I'll tell you what, Massena is fortunate to get out of that only trailing 2-1.
I couldn't agree with you more, Jerry. I haven't seen the Raiders this tight in a long time, and I'm sure this intermission couldn't come quick enough for Coach Long and his staff so they can get inside and make some adjustments, and they're basically all going to be just mental adjustments because the Raiders are really uptight. But if it hadn't been for 2 goalposts, it probably would have been 4-1, if not higher.
So Massena's got to go in and regroup and get something going here, but they're only trailing 2-1. And we played 1 period. Our broadcast tonight brought to you by Mahoney's Auto Mall, located on the Potsdam Canton Road. Also by Reynolds Metal, St. Lawrence Reduction Plant. Working together, their quality shines through. By the Massena Building Supply, 70 Water Street in Massena. Coca-Cola Bottling, East Orvis Street in Massena. By Tiffany's Restaurant at 46 Main Street, downtown Massena. By Seacom Federal Credit Union, 30 Stern Street, Massena. By Massena Optics, 55 Main Street, Massena. Homestead Dairy, West Hatfield, in the corner of North Main and Maple in Massena. And by New York Periodicals, located in the Market Square Mall in Potsdam, and the Diner, 3 North Main Street in Massena, among the sponsors bringing you this game this evening on WMSA. And that first period was all Potsdam.
All Potsdam, and you could read it, Jerry. I mean, right off the bat, there were many signs out there. If you look, you'd say, well, gee, they're lackadaisical or they're nonchalanting, and that's not really the case. What it is, it's a case of nerves. The Raiders were really uptight, and they were taking the puck back into their zone. They didn't have to, and they'd lose it back in there, allowed Potsdam some real gross turnovers in their own end. They had, when they're coming out of their zone, the defenseman wanted to pass it to the forward. All he could see was the backside of that forward because he had his head turned, didn't know where the puck was. And when he did, a lot of times he did catch it, it would off the stick right back to the point. They were really tight. Again, I haven't seen the Raiders like this all year long, but I'm sure the coaching staff is going to get in there and talk to him in this first intermission and make some changes. Say, hey, you're a great hockey team. It's understandable to be tight. I'm sure Potsdam was before the game, but when that whistle starts, okay, just relax, go out there, play your game. You don't have to do anything exceptional. Skate, hit, move the puck. Everyone, this is a team sport. Play as a team, and I know Coach Long and his staff will address that. But I agree with you wholeheartedly. They're lucky to be only down 2-1. And the first goal came at the 3:09 mark. Again, Raiders, I think it was Corey David coming out of his own end, but at a very leisurely pace. And that spark plug, that fire plug, the little nuisance, depends on what side of the fence you're on. If you're a Potsdam fan or, Massena, Mike McCabe, and I really like this youngster since a sophomore because he does so many things to beat you, just came up behind him, listed the stick, stole it at the top of the circle to the right of Justin White. He went across the ice, swung around to his forehand, and from the top of the other circle at a real tough angle, got a slap shot off, and again, Justin White didn't come out, didn't play the angle, and it beat him on the far side. Bingo, 1-0, and the Raiders were really back on their heels. And just a little over a minute and 30-some seconds later, at the 4:44 mark, David Hewlin, their defenseman, read the puck was right in front of the Raider bench, and the defenseman wanted to pass it to the wing on the weak side. David Hewlin over here on the weak side read that, stepped up, intercepted the pass, and broke across the blue line. It was a 2-on-1. And he unleashed probably a 45-foot shot from above the top of the circle. And again, Justin White did not come out, did not cut the angle at all, and he just blew it right by over the glove side. And bingo, it's 2-0, and the Raiders. And at that stage, at that time, Coach Long elected to make a goaltending change, and he brought in Luca Richards.
Well, he had to. There's no tomorrow after this game. And, you talk about what Massena needs to do to beat Potsdam. They can't give up strange goals like that. They just can't.
Well, that's one of the things that we had talked about before, you and I, saying that, if they just, they don't have to get exceptional goaltending, but just average goaltending, can't give up those types of goals. And, they hadn't had a shot on goal till the 7:35 mark. Their first and only shot resulted in their goal, and it was a flurry. There was a lot of traffic in front. The puck in the corner to the left of Grant, and somehow Adam Blaze picked it up. Dion and Mike Lapointe to get the assist. Mike Dion dumped it in, and Mike Lapointe in the corner must have shuffled it in behind. And Blaze picked it up and came out from a wraparound. He came out on Grant's right-hand side. And with all the traffic, Potsdam players, Massena players, I don't know, that as you aptly said, he threaded the needle and he found a low shot. And again, I think it was on the far side that beat Grant right along the ice.
Boy, and that was a huge, huge goal because it got Massena back in the game, although they still didn't do much after that. They did have a couple of semi-opportunities and caught some breaks at the other end when Potsdam hit goalposts. So it takes a lot of different things to win a hockey game. It takes some breaks. It takes timely goals, and certainly if Massena can come back and play better and win this hockey game, they're going to look back at that goal and say, yeah, that certainly was a timely goal.
Yeah, no question. And they just need I'm not sure I'd want to be in that locker room right now. The coaching staff probably laying a few things on the line, but the main thing is, hey, don't be afraid to make a mistake. Don't be afraid to that's what it's all about. But this is probably the worst period that they have played all year long. And the Sandstoners, again, let's give them credit. The type of forechecking, and they were Johnny on the spot. They were jumping on loose pucks. They were reading errant Raider passes, and they were taking full advantage. And if it hadn't been for those two goal posts, they could have easily be up 4 or 5-1.
That's right. So it's a 2-1 game Potsdam on the A1 TV and Appliance scoreboard after one period of play. Our broadcast also brought to you by the Diner at 3 North Main Street in Massena. Ray Hurlbut's tent rental, phone 764-0376.
He had to look at not only his welfare and his feelings, but the welfare of the whole team. And, I think it was time to make it. And he made it, and we'll see how it works out.
Yeah, that's right. Again, our broadcast on WMSA brought to you by Main Street Autoland at 439 Main Street, Massena. By W.L. Smith's True Value Hardware, East Orvis Street in Massena. By Paris Environmental Control Corporation on the Winthrop Road in Massena. By the North Country Savings Bank, 22 Phillip Street, Massena. Seaway Orthopedics, 269 and 271 Andrew Street in Massena. By Walsh Equipment at 50 Bernie Avenue in Massena. By Borton's Insurance, Walt Wilmshurst at 235 Main Street in Massena. Also by Beneficial New York Incorporated at 256 Main Street, Massena. Ray Hurlbut Tent Rental, phone 764-0376. By the Diner, 3 North Main Street in Massena. New York Periodicals in the Market Square Mall in Potsdam. One period by the boards, getting ready for the second. It's 2-1 for Potsdam over Massena in this Division 1 semifinal. Want to take a moment here to say hello to somebody who was ill tonight and couldn't make the game. Jason Converse's grandfather, Lyle Murray, we understand, is in the hospital tonight. He has his radio with him so he can listen to the game, and we certainly want to say hello to Lyle, and we hope he's feeling better real soon.
Yeah, I'll pass that along. Lyle's a friend of mine. Played hockey. Lyle's an ex-hockey player. In fact, beginning of the year, he came to me and he said something I said about being old. He said, well, I'll tell you how old you are. That's my grandson that's out there. So that really dates Lyle and I. But Jason's had a fine year, and we, again, pass our wishes for a speedy recovery along to Lyle.
Also want to say hello to Chrissy O'Shea, who had to work tonight. I know she's not too happy about that, but she's not too far away, and she's listening in on the radio. Timmy's sister.
Yes, Chrissy, in fact, tried to get a hold of me this afternoon. We have to get in touch with each other. It's not pertaining to hockey. I think it's pertaining to softball.
We're off and running in the second period. Massena controls the puck off the faceoff, moving it ahead. Corey David dumps it in the Potsdam zone. Bounces to the side of the net. Grant leaves it in behind. Potsdam controls, clearing it around the boards, looking to move it. Intercepted by Spanberg, and he dumps it in behind the net. Puck side of the zone. Converse goes to throw a check. Now David throws it. Joy cranks it up and fired it wide. Puck around the boards. Kerwin pinches in, keeps it in momentarily, and now Potsdam just dumps. Here's Frank Joy with it. Looking up, flipping it along the boards. It comes free, and McCabe picks up the loose puck. McCabe shot from center ice, and Luca makes the save. You can bet Potsdam's going to shoot every chance they get. Puck knocked away, comes to Spanberg, and he clears it. Spanberg to Corey David. David dumps from the red line, and Massena's going to make a line change. They already look better to start this second period. Potsdam with a puck, dumping it to neutral ice. It comes to Frank Joy, who's still out there for Massena. Joy flips ahead for P.J. Rochford. His pass knocked down. Rochford back with it. He and McCabe spar. Now Adam Blaze digging for it. And I think it's underneath McCabe and P.J., and they'll both get up from on top of the puck, and we'll face it off out by the blue line, Massena zone.
One indication from that first period, no penalties, and that means that the officials are going to let them play hockey, and I think the magnitude of this game, they should.
There were a couple that could have been called, and they let them go, so Adam Blaze will take the face-off. Off the draw, puck in behind the Massena net. P.J. Rochford bangs it around the boards, comes to Les Pribble. Pribble doesn't clear. Puck goes side of the net. Fisher. Dion takes it away. Moves to Pribble. Pribble ahead to Blaze. He just lets it move out to center ice. Comes right back to him. Adam Blaze. Headman pass to Mike Lapointe. He busts in. Stops. Gets the shot off. Hits score! Mike Lapointe! And I don't know where Grant was on that. I thought for sure he was going to make the save, but it ends up in the net, and the Raiders tie it up.
Can't talk over that foghorn, but Mike Lapointe has knotted this contest. A harmless-looking shot at Sean Grant. I think it went right between the 5-hole, right between the legs, and from about, again, 40 feet out, tied this hockey game up.
Here comes Adam Blaze, lifting it in the Potsdam zone. Grant has to make a save on a bouncer. Crowd has come alive here. Pribble steps in front of the pass. Comes back to the blue line, bounces out to center ice. Trickles to the Massena line. Puck still sits by the blue line, and Fisher gets a shot and fires it wide. Lapointe throws a check. Puck's kept in the zone by John Hughes. Bounces in behind the net. Dion there rips it around the boards. Fisher steps in front of it. Can't control. Pribble, headman to Blaze. Blaze looking for Lapointe. Mike steps across the blue line again. Gets another shot off. Nice save by Grant. Puck bounces off the glass. And it's, well, I think it was going to be called a hand pass there by Massena, and the faceoff will move outside the Potsdam zone. Raiders have tied it up on the Corky's Collision scoreboard. It's 2-2, and I think what Grant's problem is he hasn't had enough shots.
That could well be an innocent shot, little shot. Mike Lapointe gained the zone and put the brakes on, let the defenseman go by him, and then slid one along the ice, and somehow Sean Grant didn't have his concentration.
Off the faceoff, here comes Potsdam's Hewlin dumping it in the Massena zone. Puck trickles into the corner. Kerwin trying to flip it ahead. It's intercepted. Here's a shot knocked down in front. Doesn't get through. Here comes Timmy O'Shea. O'Shea, headman to Service. Service has it knocked away. Back to the blue line, kept in by Kerwin momentarily, and now it pokes out to center ice. Comes the Massena line. Joy is there, flipping it ahead to the Potsdam line. Knocked away. Here comes Service across the blue line. He's taken out of the play. Back out to center ice. Kerwin kicks it back in the Potsdam zone. Stoners control it and flip it up into the bench. That's Lloyd Howe who got a stick on it. Goes into the Potsdam bench, and we'll have a face-off. 12:06 remaining. Second period. Corky's Collision scoreboard reads 2-2.
How quickly the momentum has shifted. The Raiders high-fiving over there. The confidence regained. The Sandstoners momentarily back on their heels. Lost some of that confidence, especially, their outstanding goaltender, Sean Grant, to give up a soft one. But that was Mike LaPointe's 19th of the year. Adam Blaze picking up the assist.
Off the face-off, here comes Spanberg. Takes it in, centering pass right across the goal mouth. David couldn't put a stick on it. Of course, he didn't have his stick on the ice either, did he? Here's another chance. The shot by Converse. Save made, and a nice one by Sean Grant. Puck comes bouncing out to the blue line and down the ice into the Massena zone. Kerwin chasing in after it. Picks it up. Here's Ryan Kerwin flipping it. Converse just knocks it out to center ice. Comes back to the Potsdam line. Gathered in by their defensemen. Moving it ahead. Comes to the red line. Massena trying to control. Here's Spanberg. Gets by a check. Gets knocked down. Flips it to Converse. Converse backhander right on. Save made. He gets the rebound. Shovels it back to the blue line. TJ cranks it up. We have a whistle. And there's a little mix-up in the corner. Corey David and I think that's Yulin for Potsdam. And there's going to be a penalty. I think both are going to pick up penalties.
And this will be
that's
the first
McCabe,
penalties of the game. Yeah, that's McCabe. Mike McCabe, the little fire plug, and Corey David. Well, the Raiders have skating somewhat this period. Things say, unless you skate in this game, things will not happen. You can't stand around and expect, they're going to materialize. You got to work for it. And they weren't in that first period. But I'll tell you, they've started out in this second period, and they are skating and making things happen.
It's going to be Josh Spanberg, Mike LaPointe, Mike Dion, and P.J. Rochford. Jonathan Hughes is out there, along with Robbie Bicknell, David Yulin, and I think that's Kelleher. Off the face-off, Mike LaPointe with it, gets a shot off, but is blocked on the defense. Now that's Marty Andrews playing the other defensive position. He has the puck, bangs it to neutral ice. Dion's there, flipping it right back in the corner, Potsdam zone. Yulin and LaPointe go in after it. Here comes Yulin. Yulin out to center ice. David Yulin moves it across in the Massena zone, gets a shot off. Luca makes the save and covers up and holds on for the face-off.
Those penalties coming at the 3:38 mark. David and McCabe. One McCabe for interference and David for slashing. Massena's out shooting the Sandstoners 4-2 unofficially here in this second period. They had one shot in the first period.
And those two shots by Potsdam have been long ones. So the Raiders really have stepped up their game a little bit, and that's fortunate. Yulin with the puck now, flips it on the other side to Andrews. He dumps it in the Massena zone. Save made by Richards. Flipped ahead, Mike LaPointe over skates, but Josh picks it up. Here comes Spanberg in 1-on-2. Has it swept away, and the puck dumped by the Potsdam Sandstoners to the Massena line. Rochford is there for LaPointe. LaPointe cross ice to Spanberg. Trying to go back to LaPointe. Intercepted. Here comes Potsdam's John Hughes across the blue line. Skates into the corner. Dion stops him there. Puck goes in behind the net. PJ to Dion. Mike flips it ahead for Mike LaPointe. LaPointe looks for Spanberg. Here comes Spanberg into the Potsdam zone, and he lost it off the end of his stick. Picked up by Andrews. Andrews in the corner battling for it with Spanberg, but it squirts free to Yulin, and we're down to 13 seconds in the matching minors. Out to neutral ice. Now it's Hughes with it. Oh, he got checked by Kerwin, and he sees stars. LaPointe picks it up and dumps it, and he thought he was going to have somebody breaking, and the Massena man didn't break, and icing will be the call.
That's what you talk about, reading the ice. You can't get tunnel vision, and Mike just had tunnel vision looking up, and he had a wing wide open on this side, but I think he was a little tired and possibly wanted to change.
We're back to 5-on-5, plus the goalies. Massena coming out with Blaze, Heath McLean, and Les Pribble. As, of course, Mike LaPointe was just out there on the 4-on-4. Off the face-off. Blaze wins the draw. Flips it around to McLean. He bangs it out to neutral ice. There's going to be a foot race for the puck. Smith is there. Smith and Pribble go after it. Pribble knocks it away. Puck sits side of the net. Now it's bounced into the corner. Joy pinches in. Leaves it for Blaze. Blaze dumps it right through traffic. Is stopped by Andy Smith. Smith loses. Heath McLean behind the net. Heath centering pass hit the side of the net. Gets it back again. Knocked away at the blue line. And Potsdam moves it. And Jack Charleboy dumps it into the Massena zone. Richards clears it around the boards. Pribble backhand pass for McLean. A little bit too far. Knocked away. Here's Frank Joy with it. Joy's headman to Pribble. Pribble moving it. Trying to move it ahead. He drops it for Kerwin. Puck flipped to the Potsdam line, and it's McCabe picking it up there. Still 2-2 tie hockey game here on the Corky scoreboard. Headman by Potsdam goes to Massena's Frank Joy. Joy to Kerwin. He flips it in the zone. Grant's going to stop it. He sticks it ahead to the blue line, goes all the way out to neutral ice. Joy flips it right back in the zone. Stopped in behind the net by Grant. Puck bounces to the blue line, kept in. Now Potsdam controls. They finally move it out. Comes to Charleboy. We got a 2-on-1 with McCabe. Charleboy cranks up. It's blocked as Frank Joy gives up the body. Massena breaks out. Here comes Jamie Courier for Massena. Courier winds up at the blue line, and the save made by Sean Grant. Puck in the corner, now to the blue line, bounces to neutral ice. P.J. Rochford moving it ahead for Courier. He dumps it back in the Potsdam zone. In behind the net, picked up there by Larry Allen. Allen in the corner. He's got O'Shea. O'Shea steals. Back to the blue line. P.J. Rochford on the fly. And it's wide. Puck trickles on the other side. Potsdam controls it. Dion is there to move it ahead into the zone. Here comes O'Shea, but it's taken away. And back comes Jack Charleboy. Dumps to the Massena line. Puck trickles right in. And it's cleared back to the blue line. We're going to have a penalty on Massena for tripping as breaking in there. I think that was Casey Ross.
And P.J. Rochford is going to pick up the call, the penalty, and it's a good call. Ross broke in between the two defenders, and P.J. hooked him. You can call him hooking or tripping, but the Sandstorm is going to go on a power play. Heath McLean out there had a good shift, filling in for Mike Lapointe. Was all over the place, really aggressive, had a couple opportunities, and then Frankie Joy on that 2-on-1, just an outstanding defensive play when he played it perfectly, and when Charleboy tipped off that he was going to shoot, went down and blocked the shot. A great play by Frank Joy.
First power play of the game goes to Potsdam. Puck in behind the net. McCabe trying to center it. Spanberg takes it away, bangs it to the blue line, doesn't get it out. Hewlin flips it back in the corner. Abe Adams with it. In behind the net, and Massena just gets tripped up. There's going to be a penalty on Jonathan Hughes as he knocks Spanberg down from behind, and that'll even things up and take away the power play opportunity.
Now, we had played that first period without a penalty. These two clubs in the three previous games, Jerry, had amassed 156 minutes in penalties, each club having 37 minors, and Massena 4 misconducts and Potsdam 2 misconducts. They're no stranger to the penalty box. And the power plays, Massena 3 for 15 for a 20% success ratio, and the Sandstoners 2 for 16 for 12.5.
7:42 left on the Corky scoreboard. It's a 2-2 tie. Now we're skating 4-on-4 again as the Sandstoners dump it in the Massena zone. Here's Mike Dion with it in the corner. Flips it to Spanberg along the boards. Spanberg gets knocked down, gets the puck back, drops it for Dion. Dion's been real steady here this evening, hasn't he?
All year he's been steady.
Here's Joy, head man to Spanberg. Josh takes it across, has it knocked away, and the Stoners control it back out to neutral ice. That's John Yannikis. Drops it back for defenseman Kimmy Keller, and he dumps it in the Massena zone. Potsdam's going to make some changes here as Frank Joy comes up with a puck. His pass intercepted by Fisher. They go for it together, and David comes up with it. Knocked away from him, back in the Massena zone. And that's going to be an icing call, I guess. Yes, indeed. That was from the other side of the red line. So icing the call on Potsdam. Face-off will move back in their zone. 29 seconds left in the Massena penalty. 44 seconds in the Potsdam penalty. 6:56 in the second period. Tied at 2 on the Corky scoreboard.
And the only goal in this period scored by Mike Lapointe, his 19th at the 1:30 mark to tie up this hockey game.
Adam Blaze out there with Lapointe, Dion, and Kerwin. Off the face-off, puck in the corner. Marty Andrews loses to Blaze. Blaze back to the point. Dion cranks it up, knocked down in front, and deflected into the corner. Again, Andrews with it. Mike Lapointe takes it away from him. Back to the blue line. It's intercepted. And here comes Fisher as Kerwin just took him out of the play nicely. And Dion picks up the puck. Headman of Blaze across the blue line. His shot blocked. comes back to the blue line, bounces out to neutral ice. Massena has to get on sides. Kerwin flips it over to Dion. Dion, backhand pass to LaPointe. LaPointe gets checked, the puck taken away, bounces back in the Massena zone. Here's Kerwin with it. Kerwin, headman ablaze, and down the ice it goes. Charleboy picks it up at his own blue line, poked away from him, and dumped out to neutral ice. Here's LaPointe with it. We're going to have a hand pass, I believe.
I thought for a second they were going to call too many men on the ice, but it is a hand pass. Referee Wayne Umel making the call, and the face-off will be right at center ice, right on the red stripe.
6:07 remaining in the second period. 2-2 tie hockey game. Massena Potsdam in the semifinals. Seth Service's line out there. Service backhands it in the Potsdam zone. Picked up by Ulen, the defenseman. He flips it ahead. Here's Charleboy across the blue line. Just slides it in behind the net. Puck bounces. And it's picked up by Service. Service headman, a Courier, kind of took a funny bounce off his stick back into the corner Massena zone. Joy wraps it around the boards for PJ. Moves it out to the blue line. Dumped back in the zone. Apparently didn't get out of the zone. Here comes Joy again. This time he'll headman to Service. Service going for Courier, a little bit too far. Puck trickles back in the Potsdam zone. In behind the net, Kelleher taken out of the play. O'Shea poke checks it into the other corner. Joy pinches in. Flips it in behind the net. McCabe is back there for Potsdam. He and O'Shea go together. Puck along the boards. O'Shea still digging for it. Comes up with a puck. Now it bounces to Courier. Here's Courier getting a shot, but it doesn't get through as Ulen blocks it. Ulen almost lost its side of the net. Moves it to the blue line. Joy keeps it in. Flips it in behind the net. Grant's going to flip it around with a big goalie stick, and it comes out to neutral ice. Potsdam moving ahead. Here's Charleboy. Poke checked away in the corner. Picked up there by O'Shea. O'Shea's pass bounces out to center ice as Charleboy almost intercepted. Kind of a blind pass there. Potsdam controls at their own blue line. Ahead it goes. Bouncing out. I think Courier's lost his stick or broke his stick. And the puck goes back into the Potsdam bench off a stick. And we'll have a face-off with 4:42 remaining second period. 2-2 tie hockey game.
Good shift out there, a little long, but that line of O'Shea, Service, and Jamie Courier, excellent shift. But I think they got really tired at the end, and fortunate to get that puck over the Dashers because the puck was in going in the Massena end, and they were out of gas.
And Courier had broken his stick too, so Massena in effect was shorthanded. Here comes Spanberg, taking it across the blue line, trying to slide it through to David, intercepted there by Larry Allen. Moves back to the blue line, poked in. Here's Spanberg, short side shot, save made by goaltender Grant. And a good play at the blue line by Mike Dion to keep it in. He fed Spanberg. He was deep, but he got a good shot off.
Stoners clearing the end, ran the puck up on the dasher on the left side, and Mike Dion had vacated the spot, but the pass again wasn't hard enough. He had time to put the brakes on, just reach over the blue line, redirect the puck to Spanberg, who was leaving, one of the last guys to leave the zone, found himself in possession of the puck and got off a pretty good shot.
Face off left side. Off the draw, Potsdam controls in their own end. Defenseman behind the net, trying to go out right side, and it's knocked out to neutral ice. Here comes John Hughes in the Massena zone. He stops out by the blue line and cranks it up. Puck bounces in behind the net. Fisher trying to clear it in the corner, and we have a whistle. A little pushing and shoving. And we're going to have a penalty, but I'm not sure on who. There are going to be two penalties, I think, matching. I see a tripping, and Ryan Kerwin goes to the box. Maybe that's it.
I think the Raiders are going to be the only one to pick up a penalty. It's a roughing call against Ryan Kerwin. No, there is a tripping
It is.
call.
I thought he made two indications as Hughes gets a penalty as well. So it'll be 4-on-4 plus the goaltenders.
Again, these two clubs, they've played 3 previous occasions against each other several times over the course of their high school career. Discipline is the key. They don't need to prove anything as far as how tough they are to each other. Stay disciplined.
Ulen off the faceoff, flips it behind the net. Puck trickles around the board. Spanberg going after. Now Dion helps out. He moves it to Spanberg. Here comes Spanberg out to center ice. Spanberg builds up the head of steam, gets a shot off a leg. David pinching in, and he almost got a good chance, but it's wide. And Potsdam back the other way. Into the Massena zone. It trickles right in on net, and Luca makes the save and flips it around the boards. Trying to get it out of there. Spanberg kept in by Kelleher. He gets tied up. He shoots it on with his glove, And I don't think that'll count as a shot on net, will it? Pucked in the corner. Corey David after it. Dumps it in behind the net for P.J. Rochford. He'll try to move it out on the other side and does. It goes out to neutral ice. Here's Kelleher with it. Flips it back. Moving ahead to the Massena line. And in the zone it goes. Back after it is Dion. Rips it around the boards for Spanberg. It comes to Kelleher instead. His shot way over the net. Bounces over on the other side. Ullin pinches in. Flips it in behind the net. Around the boards, here's Spanberg. 25 seconds left in the minors. He just manages to bang it to center ice. Here comes PJ with Blaze. Head man to Blaze, and he caught him trying to stay on sides. He waited a little bit too long, and now the puck slides in the Massena zone. Joy back. His pass intercepted. Fisher gets by the check, looks to center, but it's going to come to Joy, and Joy moves it back the other way. Here's Joy with a 3-on-2. Frankie Joy crossed the blue line off sides. Adam Blaze on the right side.
Captain Frankie Joy under a full head of steam coming down. They would start it out with a 2-on-2, but another Raider joined the rush, and it was an odd man rush, and he had could have gone to Blaze on the right side, could have a little diagonal slot pass back to the trailer, but elected to make that veer just at the blue line, and that's the wrong place you want to do that. When he did it, he pulled Adam Blaze offside.
2:41 left in the second period.
I tell you, the noise in here is deafening.
Isn't
Excuse
it, though?
me, Jerry.
This is loud. This is even louder than the first time these two teams played. Now Joy's got a problem with his skate, so he'll go off. I think he broke a lace. So Dion comes back out to play with Kerwin. He's got the puck and flips it right in the Potsdam zone. Marty Andrews back for Potsdam, picking up the loose puck. Rips it around the boards. Kerwin's got it at the blue line. Winds up. His shot is, well, it wasn't gloved. Goes around the boards. Here's Dion again. Quick wrister. The save made. And Grant holds on for the faceoff.
And we mentioned Mike Lapointe, big things in small packages. Number 6, Marty Andrews, the defenseman, thought he was going to put a lick on him as Lapointe went for the rebound, but he ran into a pretty tough hombre, and it was Andrews who went on his backside. Mike Lapointe's had a lot of success against the Stoners. He scored 5 goals in the 3 previous games and 1 here again tonight.
Adam Blaze is back to take the faceoff. Joy's back out on the ice, and he rips it around the boards. Here's Michael with the puck. Lapointe in the corner, trying to dump it behind the net. McCabe picking it up for Potsdam. Gets by the check of Pribble and steals the puck. Is Pribble centering it past Lapointe. Shot. Oh, I think he hit the goal post. And the puck comes free, and Blaze couldn't pick up the rebound. It's out to center ice. Here's Joy with it. Slides it ahead for Blaze. Blaze at the blue line gets knocked down, loses his helmet. And Potsdam's McCabe back the other way. He gets sandwiched, and the puck comes in on net. And Ryan Kerwin has it. Here's Kerwin behind the net. Rips it around the boards for Lapointe. Lapointe moves it out to center ice. Here's Lapointe. He gets knocked down. There's going to be a penalty on Potsdam. That's going to be a tripping call on the Sandstoners, Mike McCabe. And the Raiders will get their first power play opportunity of the game.
And not a good penalty, especially, again, the guy wearing the C, Mike McCabe. We've talked about him so often. A bad call right in the neutral zone, right in front of the official, and he upended Mike Lapointe, no question. And the officials who want to be as lenient as they can because they know the importance of this game and they don't want it decided on who has the most penalties are going to, go a long way. But that one was a flagrant one, and the Raiders will be on a power play.
Let's see, we're going to have Lapointe out there along with David and Spanberg, and it's going to be P.J. Rochford and Mike Dion.
Well, the Raiders had 1 shot in that first period and were dominating. In this period, they're out shooting the Sandstoners 8-3.
Yeah, if we were honest, we got to say that first period was the worst we've seen them play all year.
Well, no question. We are honest, and it was the worst period we'd seen them play all year, and I don't think we'd get a disagreement with anyone on that, including the Raider coaching staff. I'm not sure what the
officials are over talking to the scorer's bench about, but Massena is ready to go on the power play here. 2:25 left in the period, 2-2 tie hockey game. Massena, after trailing 2-0, battled back and tied it. They were fortunate in the first period to get a goal. In the second period, they've worked for it.
Yes, they have. And I don't think the Raider coaching staff is upset with this delay here because it allows them to get some of those skilled players like Spanberg and Lapointe and that who had just been out there to get a breather.
They're running some time off the clock. Apparently somebody forgot to start the clock, so they're running some time off the clock. Will not make any anything of this. Gary.
Exciting. Well, he just got caught up in the excitement of the game, that's all.
Okay, off the face-off. Into the Massena zone it goes. Raiders on the power play. P.J. Rochford with it, picks up a forechecker and Robbie Bicknell. Here's Spanberg. Leaves it for P.J. P.J. carries it across, looking to set up the power play. And he and David kind of went together, and Potsdam picks up the puck. And I don't know, as the puck trickles in front of the Massena net, Dion has it knocked away. Potsdam putting some pressure on. Spanberg, though, with the puck. Here's Spanberg, moving it ahead. Here's P.J. again across the blue line. He's going to stop and look up to set the power play. Dion to Spanberg. He's got room in front, skates it, passes it. I don't know why he didn't shoot. And the puck in behind the net. I think he went to shoot, decided to pass, and didn't do anything. Puck in the corner. Spanberg back to the blue line. Dion shot right on. Save made. And the rebound is controlled by Potsdam. Heads up play by Bicknell, and he flips it ahead. Comes to the Massena line. Here's Hughes with it. Hughes shorthanded, overskated. Gets it back again, and then flips it in the corner. Here's Spanberg. Spanberg flips it ahead to Dion. Back to Spanberg. Here comes Josh. Across the blue line, makes the move, slides it right in, and the save made by Grant. LaPointe comes up with the puck to Spanberg. In behind the net, wrap-around attempt. Grant makes the save. It's in the back of the mesh, and it's tied up there. And we'll have a face-off with 39 seconds remaining in period number 2. 4 seconds in the power play, and Massena did not look good on that power play.
No, they haven't, but that last little shift down there, Josh Spanberg tried a tricky little move, but Sean Grant was one step ahead of him. Spanberg going behind the net looked like he was going to go around and wrap around, but about halfway there he put the brakes on, came back to the short side, but Sean Grant wasn't buying it. Good heads-up play by Sean Grant.
Adam Blaze out there with Jamie Courier and Tim O'Shea. Or is that Pribble on the other wing? No, that's Pribble, I guess. Charlebois takes the face-off for Potsdam. Stoner's control. Moves it to the Massena line. Penalty as he lapsed, and McCabe is back out on the ice. Here's Frank Joy with it. Joy gets tied up behind the net. Goes to Blaze. Blaze loses it. It squirts free, and Les Pribble will pick it up. Pribble's head man to Kerwin. Kerwin goes to Courier. Courier takes it across. Here's Jamie. Drop pass. Blaze has shot right on. Kick save made by Grant, and Potsdam dumps it. It's going to trickle in on goal, and Luca's going to leave it in behind for Frankie Joy. Joy, headman pass. Oh, back out, back in. Potsdam offsides as the buzzer sounds, but that was a terrible pass. Was almost intercepted.
Again, the Raider defenseman telegraphed it, and it came up the middle and came slow. You can't do that. You allow the opposition to adjust and read what you're going to do, but fortunately for the Raiders, time expired.
In that case, I guess so. So, a 2-2 tie after 2. On the Corky's Collision scoreboard. Our broadcast brought to you tonight by Homestead Dairy, West Hatfield, and the corner of North Main and Maple in Massena, by Massena Optics, 55 Main Street, Massena, by the members of the CECOM Federal Credit Union, 30 Stern Street, Massena, by Tiffany's Restaurant, 46 Main Street, downtown Massena, Coca-Cola Bottlers, East Orvis Street in Massena, by Massena Building Supplies, 70 Water Street in Massena, Reynolds Metals, St. Lawrence Reduction Plant. Working together, their quality shines through. By Mahoney's Auto Mall, located on the Potsdam-Canton Road. Among the sponsors bringing you this game tonight on WMSA. We played 2 periods, and it's all tied at 2.
Yeah, you know, you can't expect any more. We should have thunked this, and we did. These two teams have battled tooth and nail through 3 previous games, and we didn't expect anything any different, although we were somewhat surprised by some of the goals here tonight and the way they came about. But at the end of 2, we're tied, and it's going to come down to this 3rd period, and who knows, maybe OT. Only 1 goal in the period, and as you said, the Raiders, who got one in the 1st period on 1 shot, they worked a lot harder, skated a lot better this period, and it paid off. Mike LaPointe, although this was a harmless looking shot at the 1:30 mark, took a pass from Adam Blaze, crossed the blue line and had a defenseman skating with him, put the brakes on and kind of let the defenseman slide by him, and he just got off. It was a low shot, a kind of a half snapshot, I guess you'd call it, along the ice, probably 40, 45 feet out. And Sean Grant usually has those for breakfast, and somehow I think his concentration was broken or what happened, but it went right between the legs, right through the 5-hole, and that tied up the hockey game, and that's the only one, that's the only scoring in the period.
Saves in the period. Grant came up with 10 saves for a two-period total of 10. No saves in the first period for Sean Grant, 10 in the second. Two-period total, 10 saves. 3 saves for Luca Richards. The Massena goaltending with 9 saves through 2 periods, so the shots on net are 12-11 favoring Massena. So Massena out shooting Potsdam by just 1 shot.
And that's an amazing stat that the Potsdam goaltender, Sean Grant, had no saves in the first period. And again, just amazing. It just shows you how Potsdam dominated that first period, and the Raiders certainly could not get on track. But they did in that second period, and we're all nodded 2-2, and it couldn't get any tighter or any more exciting as we head into this third period.
Okay, now penalties. These were all in the second period, weren't they?
Those were in the all in the second period, yeah.
Okay, I don't know what they're doing, but anyway, at 3:38, Mike McCabe of Potsdam and Corey David of Massena went off, matching Miners' interference and slashing. And then at 7:09, it was P.J. Rochford going off for tripping, but not a long power play for Potsdam as John Hughes went off for tripping just a few seconds later at 7:18. Then it was Ryan Kerwin matching Miners with John Hughes, roughing for Kerwin, Hughes for tripping. And then Mike McCabe picked up a tripping call at 12:55. Massena power play did not score. So we end up after 2 periods tied at 2 in the semifinal game in Section 10 hockey. A 2-2 tie hockey game, Massena and Potsdam after 2. Our broadcast tonight brought to you by The Diner at 3 North Main Street in Massena, by Ray Hurlbut Tent Rental.
Away from continuing on in their quest for the state championship, or packing the goods up for until next year, or maybe for their career for these seniors.
That's right. So they've got to come out here, and both teams, and we'll see who's left standing at the end. Huh?
That's right. And the Sandstoners are the first one to take the ice. The Raiders haven't made their appearance.
Here they come.
Here they come. Sandstoners wearing their traveling blue uniforms trimmed with the orange and white.
Crowd making some noise here. An excellent crowd. This is so nice to see.
Yes, it is. It adds so much. We can look back a few years ago when this place used to be packed for
every game. Yeah. The times have changed, though, and it's unfortunate that they have over 1,000 here today.
Official attendance 1,057. Thought it was a little higher than that.
Boy, it sure looks like it. But it is an excellent crowd no matter how you look at it.
Sandstoners gathering around the goaltender Sean Grant, was roughing up his crease, and they will be defending the goal to our right this period, which is the west end, and the Raiders and Luca Richards will be defending the goal to our left, the east end. And Luca Richards comes into pinch hitting, I guess, for Justin White, who got the start. Luca with a 6-1 record and an unbelievable 5 shutouts in his 6-1 record. He has 5 shutouts. He shut out Albany Academy, Spalding, Vermont, Alex Pace, Salmon River, and OFA. And his only loss to the Potsdam Sandstoners.
And that was the game in the Canton tournament that was 4-1. And he had a couple of tough goals in that game.
Yeah. A sparkling 0.61 goals against, as you would figure, with those 5 shutouts, and a save percentage of .956.
Well, we're ready to go with the third period. Potsdam sending out the McCabe line. Mike McCabe, Aaron Weegar, and Jack Charleboy. And it's going to be Marty Andrews. And who's he going to be paired up with? I think that's Timmy Kelleher.
I'm sure both coaches are going to say, you know, we're going to go with what brought us here, get out there and skate and take it to them. And as the period winds down, if it's still tight, we'll make some changes then.
Off the face-off, Massena takes it in the zone. Here's Spanberg. He gets knocked down. Puck goes in the corner, and it's still free. After it is Corey David, goes back to the blue line. Joy flips it right back to David. It's intercepted. That's Larry Allen playing the other point, and he moves it out to center ice. In fact, it's going to trickle into the Massena zone. Aaron Weegar chasing there. Frank Joy gets there first. Over to Kerwin. Kerwin trying to move it out, and we have a whistle.
We got a penalty coming up.
Behind the play, apparently. And I don't know who it's on. I didn't even see it.
It's got to be on Potsdam. The Raiders had control of the play for a long time, and referee Wayne Hummel had the arm raised. I think it might be against Sean Grant. We'll wait and see.
I did not even, like you say, it happened behind the play. I was watching the puck in the Massena zone as the Raiders controlled it and started to move it out before the whistle blows, and now it's going to be Aaron Weegar coming over to serve. It must have been on Grant.
I have a feeling it is, the way things transpired here, but referee Wayne Hummel had his hand in the air for a long time. I didn't see the infraction, but I'm going to guess it's against Sean Grant.
Okay, so Massena going on the power play. Not much luck, their first power play. They've got another opportunity here. They still haven't put any time on the clock yet, but Potsdam is a man down. There it goes, a minute and a half. So it's a minor penalty of some sort.
Frankie Joy, Mike Lapointe on the points. Corey David, Jason Converse, and Captain Josh Bamberg up front on this power play.
Off the face-off. David controls it, drops it for Lapointe. Lapointe goes over to Joy. Joy skates it over to Lapointe, to Spanberg. He tries to trickle into the zone. It's intercepted by Hewlin. Dumps it right in the Massena zone. And it goes in, and the save is made by goaltender Luca Richards. Here comes Spanberg. Drops it for Joy. Joy for Lapointe. Lapointe takes it across, setting up the power play. Cross-ice pass, goes to Spanberg at the circle, back to Joy at the point. Joy takes the shot, and it's deflected up into the screen behind the net. And we'll have a face-off out where the shot came from, out by the blue line.
Good job by Mike McCabe killing that out on this penalty-killing unit. He inched out, and Frankie Joy wanted to go to Josh Bamberg down on the left side, but he couldn't, and elected to shoot and get rid of it, and McCabe stuck the stick out, and the puck deflected high up in the netting. It was against Sean Grant, and it was a slashing call.
Okay, Jason Converse will take the face-off. Off the draw, Potsdam controls. It's Kelleher. Kelleher bangs it to the blue line, not out. Lapointe keeps it in, rips it around the boards. Converse gathers it, goes to Lapointe, back to the point, and Joy. Joy across to Mike Lapointe. Lapointe looks, goes back to Joy. Corey David right in front of the net. Joy flips to Spanberg in the circle. Skate, shot, save. Rebound poked at the net. Spanberg comes up with it again. Whistle and a man in the crease. Face off, move outside the zone.
Again, the Raiders just don't look confident on that power play. We've seen them so many times this year snap that puck around. They just are tentative, and when you're thinking too much, not reacting to their initial thoughts, I don't know, but they just don't look smooth. And Coach Long's going to make a change. Adam Blaze is going to come out between David and Spanberg.
Off the face-off, puck sits at the circle. Hoos controls it and dumps it down the ice. 25 seconds left in the power play. Joy picks up the puck. Robbie Bicknell in there forechecking. Spanberg has it. Spanberg goes by Hoos. Here comes Spanberg into the Potsdam zone. Takes it in the corner. Looks to set up the power play. Back to the point. Frankie Joy. Back to Spanberg. Right back to Joy. We're down to 6 seconds. To Lapointe. To Spanberg in front. Spanberg takes it in behind, centers it, bounces around, and it's dumped down the ice. That'll be icing against, no, they wave it off. Penalty and elapsed. Now they do call it. Yeah, okay, it looked like he was going to wave it off, but the face-off will come back inside Potsdam territory. We're down to 12:51 left in the third period. On the Bob Post State Farm Insurance scoreboard, we're all tied at 2.
Yeah, I think Bobby Preston checked the clock when he saw that time had expired and made the call. Face off to the right of Sean Grant. Again, not much offense on that power play for the Raiders.
They almost had a chance, but they couldn't finish it off. Face off inside Potsdam territory to the blue line. Dion keeps it in, flips to Lapointe, goes off his skate. And it's Kelleher. Bangs it out to neutral ice, right at the blue line. bounces to the red line. LaPointe flips it right back to the Potsdam line. Pribble is there and takes it across. Here's Pribble with it. Looks to center, Blaze shot. Oh, that's the best save of the game right there for Sean Grant. A beautiful save with a toe. Here's Dion trying to center it. Goes off a leg into the corner. Just a great save by Grant. Outstanding. Puck comes to neutral ice. P.J. Rochford flips it right back in the zone. Grant leaves it side of the net for Hewlin. Great setup and just a great save by Grant. Out to neutral ice. Comes to P.J. Rochford. We have a whistle and a slashing call against Mike LaPointe. So now Potsdam will have a power play.
What that save does, it not only keeps the game tied, but it just, again, it gives so much momentum to your club. It raises you right up by the bootstraps and kind of deflates the opposition. And then, bingo, out of frustration, the Raiders pick up a penalty. Mike LaPointe a slashing, and great. Les Pribble worked hard, dug it out of the corner, and threw it across to Adam Blaze, who went to the net without the puck. And I don't know how Grant got that left toe out there, but it was the best save of the night.
Oh, just an outstanding save. So Potsdam on the power play here. They had a short one earlier, but they picked up a penalty in a few seconds into it. Didn't really have much chance. Luca Richards flips it around the board. Spanberg looking to come up with it. He can't. Potsdam controls. That's Abe Adams back to the blue line. Andrews keeps it in. Goes in the corner with it. Potsdam can't control, and Massena clears. Here comes Spanberg, trying to bust by Andrews. Spanberg in front, shot, score! Josh Spanberg, a shorthanded goal, and Massena goes ahead 3-2. And Spanberg has not been here all game until right there, but that is a big goal for the Massena Red Raiders. Josh Spanberg, and I think Ryan Kerwin will pick up the assist. Raiders go ahead 3-2.
Captain Josh Spanberg brought him about a 170-foot rush. You mentioned Ryan Kerwin gave him the pass in his own end, and he came ambling up the ice, gaining momentum. The Sandstoners gave him the blue line, and Andrews on that right side. Spanberg went around him and cut in, and I think he was electing. Grant thought he was going to go to the corner, and what he did, he put it right between the legs. A nice little one-handed touch, and the Raiders go out front 3-2.
So Massena leads it 3-2. And Richards also picked up an assist. Here comes Potsdam. They're still on the power play. Corey David steals the puck, dumps it back out to neutral ice. Shorthanded goal for Massena gives them the lead. Their first lead of the hockey game. Here's Andrews dumping it in the Massena zone. Or Tim Kelleher, rather. Puck around the boards. Frank Joy with it. He gets tied up. Puck goes side of the net. And Richards flips it in the corner. Corey David after it, poked away from him. Now Spanberg just flips it, gets it back. Here's Spanberg, has it swept away by McCabe. McCabe takes it in front. They got a man in front. The shot, save, and a big one by Luca Richards. Here comes Massena breaking out of the zone, and Corey David's going to throw it right on McCabe. Now with 9 seconds left in the power play, here comes Mike McCabe. I should have said Grant, not McCabe. Here comes McCabe with it. Takes it across. Into the zone. Here's McCabe in behind the net. Dion takes him out of the play. Puck bounces free. Comes to Courier. He just flips it ahead to LaPointe. And following up on the play is Courier to move it out. Headman. He's got Seth Service. Busts in. Seth Service. Score! No! Hit the goal post.
I thought that was in.
I can't believe. I thought it went in too. But no, it hit the goal post. Here's McCabe with it. So now both teams have a couple of goalposts in this game. Here's Frank Joy with it and his own blue line. Joy skates by the red line, dumps it into the Potsdam zone. Timmy Kelleher flipping it ahead. Massena blue line. Hoos and Joy go together. Joy comes up with a puck, shovels it around the boards. P.J. Rochford. Raiders lead it and try to clear the zone. Here's Service with it. Service into the zone. Winds up. His shot goes wide. Bounces in behind the net. Grant clears it into the corner. Here's Courier with it. He gets knocked down. Bouncing puck out to center ice. And it's going to be a high stick as Timmy O'Shea knocked it down with a high stick. And the faceoff will come at the red line. 9 minutes, 40 seconds left in the third period. And on the Bob Post State Farm Insurance scoreboard, a Josh Spanberg shorthanded goal has given Massena the lead 3-2.
And I thought they had increased it by one. I thought it went in under the crossbar, especially the way Grant reacted. He felt it was in, but the light didn't go on, and the official was right there. And as you mentioned, that's crossbar and a goal post for each team.
Boy, oh boy. Off the faceoff, puck comes in on Grant, and he leaves it for his defenseman, Andy Smith. who bangs it out to neutral ice. Stoners dump it. And actually goes up over the glass into the stands, and we'll have a face-off in the circle just outside the Massena zone. 3-2 Raiders lead with 9:29 remaining in the third period.
And that was a great pass from Jamie Courier to Seth Service to send him in. And Seth had Grant beaten, got him back in the net, and elected to go upstairs and went the right spot, but just by a fraction.
Off the face-off. Puck comes to Potsdam. They move it to the Massena line. Into the zone it goes. Back after it is Frank Joy. Joy gathers it behind the net. Rips it around the boards for Pribble. Pribble moves it ahead. Long headman pass. Mike LaPointe racing for it. LaPointe is ridden out of the play. Adam Blaze coming after the puck. And I think the net got knocked off by Potsdam, so the face-off has got to be in the Potsdam zone.
It's been a long while since we've been to a game where there's been so much emotion in the air, Jerry. Do you agree with me?
I agree with you 100%.
I mean, we've seen state championships that there hasn't been this much, the electricity, that it's just so evident.
And up until this point, it has not been that great a game.
No, it hasn't, but maybe that's why it hasn't been a great game.
Face-off, left side in the Potsdam zone. Blaze to take the draw. Off the face-off, Potsdam controls. It's Hewlin with it. Dave Hewlin in behind the net. Moves it around the boards. Potsdam just dumps it out to neutral ice. They jam for it, and Charleboy knocks it into the Massena zone. P.J. Rochford wraps it around the boards. Meant for LaPointe. Comes to the blue line. Hewlin keeps it in. Skates it. Tries to knock it through, but Blaze has got the puck. Skates it out of the zone. Has it knocked away. Puck bounces back to the Massena line. Pribble banging for it. Now Rochford gets a stick on it to the Potsdam zone. Here's Hewlin flipping on the other side. Out to McCabe. McCabe's pass intercepted by LaPointe. LaPointe has it poked away. Comes free. And it's Potsdam controlling. Knocked away at the blue line. Bounces back to Kelleher. Kelleher dumps it in the Massena zone. P.J. Rochford. Cross ice pass to Dion. Dion gathers it in, skates ahead to Spanberg. Tips it ahead for Jason Converse. Converse throws a check behind the net. Goes to pick up the puck. Centers it right in front. And they couldn't get the shot off. Joy trying to keep it in the zone. He can't. Bounces out to neutral ice. Here come the Stoners. Oh, big check. Huge check by David. And Massena trying to come back the other way. Kelleher pokes it to the Massena line. Spanberg has to come back in after it. Here's Josh Spanberg with it. Over to Frank Joy. Joy looking up ice. Here's Joy. Feeding it ahead for David. David takes it across. Oh, I think Converse stayed onside. They called it offsides, but Converse skate was still on this side of the blue line. And the faceoff will move back outside.
Close call, but referee Bobby Preston right down on that line. And again, in good position, and you can't argue with them when they are. You might not like the call, but when they're in good position like that, and he was.
Converse will take the face-off against Hoos. Off the draw, puck comes to the Massena line, or actually to the red line. Corey David throws a check. Converse flips it in the Potsdam zone. Stoners control. Massena leads it 3-2 here in the Bob Post State Farm Insurance scoreboard. Puck back inside Massena territory. Joy with it. In behind the net, has it knocked away. Potsdam controls. Trying to get a man in front. They flip it back in the corner. Here's a chance for Robbie Bicknell. In behind for Hoos. Hoos centers it. Joy is there to intercept, though. Flipping it ahead for Spanberg. He just leaves it. And Massena's got a 2-on-1. Here comes Spanberg and David. To David in front. Shot. Score! Corey David! And Massena takes the lead. 4-2 on a beautiful pass by Spanberg to David on a 2-on-1 rush. And that's a big goal with 7:02 left in the third period.
Josh Spanberg and Corey David just teamed up on a beautiful goal. You know, those two youngsters have been this hasn't been their best hockey game of the year, but I'll tell you, they've come to meet the challenge here. Spanberg with the third and David with the fourth goal. Just a beautiful setup. Josh Spanberg going down that left side, 2-on-1 situation. Had a beautiful pass to Corey David in front, and he went upstairs over Sean Grant's shoulder.
Off the face-off, puck back in the Massena zone. P.J. Rochford moving it around the boards. Puck comes to Seth Service. Massena leads 4-2 now. Service moving it up to O'Shea. O'Shea to Service. Massena breaks. Here comes Service across the blue line. Fakes a shot, goes busting through. Fires it in front. The shot tipped just wide of the net. And I know it's underneath Grant. He made a great save. A little pushing and shoving after the fact, but I don't think there are going to be any calls.
Seth Service, only a sophomore, I'll tell you, he makes some of these rushes look so easy and so smooth. They're so difficult. He's got a world of talent, and he's come within an eyelash of scoring 2 goals here in this third period. He went sifting through the Potsdam defense, and he came in on the left side, and he could have gone short side, long side, but Grant outguessed him.
Off the face-off, Potsdam controls and dump it up into the Massena bench. I think Bobby, the manager, almost got that one in the noggin.
That 4th Raider goal, the 7:58 mark, Corey David, his 12th of the year. Josh Bamberg and Mike Dion picking up the assist, and just a great finish of a 2-on-1 play. The Sandstoners gambling, and the Raiders made them pay the price.
6:35 left in the third period. Massena leads 4-2 on the Bob Post State Farm Insurance scoreboard. Off the face-off, puck controlled by P.J. Rochford. Steps across the red line, dumps it in the Potsdam zone. Puck in behind the net. Stoners control, almost lost it. Pribble in digging, he's got it. Pribble gets tied up behind the net. They bang for it in the corner. Potsdam controls. Blaze, oh, nice check there. Almost steals the puck. It comes to LaPointe, flips it ahead, but Potsdam will move it out to center ice. Stoners dump it to the red line. Right there's LaPointe moving it back across off sides. And he had to make a move at the blue line and got Adam Blaze going the wrong way because, let's see, that was Aaron Weegar that got in his way.
And with 6:07, 6:01 left in this hockey game, the Raiders definitely got to start thinking defense. They don't need any more. The rest are gravy. So let's see what type of philosophy that they come up with here. I'm sure it'll be a defensive philosophy here in this last 6 minutes.
Off the face-off, Big Jack Charleboy has it knocked away. Bouncing puck into the Massena zone. It trickles in on goaltender Luca Richards, flips it in the corner. Here's Charleboy's trying to get through. He can't. Massena clears it out to neutral ice, back across, offsides the call as Charleboy's picked it off before he came out of the zone, and the face-off will come outside the Massena zone. 5:50 remaining in the third period. Raiders lead it 4-2 on the Bob Post State Farm Insurance scoreboard.
Depends on what side of the bench you're on. On the Sandstoner side, the clock is racing ahead. On the Raider side, it's just agonizingly slow, ticking in sand.
Off the face-off, puck comes to the Massena line. Ryan Kerwin steps across the red line, bangs it off the glass, deep in Potsdam territory. Grant clears it around the boards. Knocked away, Corey David trying to throw a check. And Hoos has it in behind. Flips it to Larry Allen. Allen's head man past Charleboy's to the blue line. Hoos out to center ice. Here's McCabe. Joy knocks him off the play. David gets a piece of it. And Hoos picks it up, takes it across. Hoos in the corner, looks to center to Charleboy's. His shot knocked away. He really didn't get it off. And Spanberg back the other way. Here comes Spanberg. Trying to slide through. He gets by one and has it knocked away by Smith. Spanberg comes up with it again behind the net. Here's Spanberg in the corner. Going to Corey David. David tied up by McCabe, but stays with it. Centering pass in front, and Service couldn't put a stick on it. Comes out to neutral ice. Here's Joy. Knocked down. Puck comes free to the Massena line. Here's Kerwin with it. Goes back to Spanberg. Spanberg lifts it out of the zone. Back in again. Back out. Kerwin. Ryan with a puck now. Here comes Kerwin from the red line. His shot. Side of the net. Pass in the corner. Here's O'Shea with it. O'Shea behind, stick handling, looks to wrap it, tries to center, goes back to the blue line. P.J. Rochford's shot is blocked. Potsdam might have a break here. Here comes McCabe, and he gets knocked down by Rochford, and there's going to be a penalty on Massena. So Potsdam will have the power play with 4:25 left in the third period as McCabe almost had a break. But Dion was back, and that penalty really wasn't necessary.
Yeah, and you could see P.J. wind up with a stick. You knew what he was going to do, and so did the officials. But that play started down here when, at this stage of the game, you don't want to send the puck back to your point. Coach Stark is calling a timeout, and I think it's a good timeout. But that all started when the Raider forward threw it back to the point. And with 4:25 left, you really don't want it, because if it comes back to the point and he takes a shot and hits something, you want to have your forwards from down low working that puck towards that, working it towards the corner. And if it comes back to the point by chance, okay, have them just dump it on down in the corner. You're afraid. And that's what happened there. It came back to the point. The Massena defenseman took a shot. It hit a Sandstoner and bounced out of the neutral zone. And that's how they got that break.
That's right. So now with a 2-goal lead, you don't have to score any more goals. 4:25 remaining in the third period. Don't even think it. Don't even think it. 4-2 the score.
4-2, 4:25. We've seen this scenario before, but we are not. Somebody sent us a note down here from the from behind us. We certainly not. But the officials, a good call, no question. P.J. Rochefort deserved that penalty. They called it a hook.
Face-off will be in the Massena zone to the left of goaltender Luca Richards.
There's only been 3 penalties in this period, 2 to Massena for a total of 5 so far, and the Sandstoners have picked up 1 for a total of 5.
McCabe will take the face-off against Adam Blaze. Off the draw, back to the blue line. They move it to Yulin. He winds it. His shot deflected. They score. Right off the face-off, back to the blue line, and it's 4-3.
Just perfect execution. The Sandstoners won the draw, came back to the right point. He slid it over to his teammate on the left side. I'm not sure if that was Yulin or not. He took a nice low shot and parked right in front. It might have been John Hughes or McCabe. One of the two parked in front, just got redirected it. Just a beautiful power play goal.
So now it's 4-3.
Only 6 seconds gone off on the clock.
4:19 left in the third period. Massena with a 1-goal lead. 4-3. Adam Blaze comes out to take the face-off against Mike McCabe. Off the face-off. Rochefort controls to Dion. Dion takes it and dumps it in the Potsdam zone. Puck goes in behind the net. Here's Yulin with it. Wraps it around the boards. Out to neutral ice. Dion dumps it right back in again. In behind the net, Grant stops it. 4 minutes remaining, third period. Puck comes out to neutral ice. Dion again flips it in the zone. Sandstoners move it to neutral ice. Here comes Big Jack Charlebois, knocked away from him. Bouncing puck comes into the Massena zone, right back out Dion. His headman comes to Yulin, and we got a whistle. And we got an injured player on the ice. Potsdam Sandstoner.
I'm not sure if that's Aaron Wigger or not.
And now Brian Kirsch, the Potsdam trainer, comes off the bench, and he'll go and administer to him. And Coach Joey Stark coming out. And I didn't see what happened.
I didn't either. The third Potsdam goal, the power play goal, Jack Charlebois was the big target in front. We named everybody but him. But Kelleher, the Sandstoners won the draw, was to the left of Luca Richards, won it cleanly, came back to Kelleher at the right point. He slid it across to Yulin, and he cranked a nice low shot, and Big Jack Charlebois, oh, that wasn't, it's number 10, I guess. Mike McCabe, Captain Mike McCabe. Well, the Raiders at every opportunity, that's all they want to do is dump the puck, and I got to be careful coming across the neutral zone diagonally. Play it up safely along the dasher. If you're not sure, run it up on that dasher.
3:45 remaining, third period. Raiders by a singleton on the Bob Post State Farm Insurance scoreboard. Off the face-off. Puck control by Andrews. Flips in the Massena zone. Joy after it. Joy in behind. He's going to drop it for Kerwin. Kerwin starts out for Massena. Here's Kerwin carrying the puck. Flips it ahead for David across the blue line. Cranks it up. The shot. Rebound in front. And Converse couldn't come up with it. And now back the other way. Potsdam moves it out. And they're going to ice the puck. And the whistle will blow. And the face-off will move back in the Potsdam zone. Coach, little coaching advice here?
Well, it's just it's human nature for me to... I tell you, it's... brings back a lot of memories. But again, the Sandstoners, what they want to do every opportunity is dump the puck into the Raiders and go in and put pressure on the defense. And the Raiders on the other side, they don't want to worry about another goal. They don't want to get fancy. Don't take any chances. Just keep dumping the puck. One-man forecheck.
Off the face-off. Puck around the boards in the Massena zone. Back out to neutral ice. Here comes Converse flipping to the Potsdam zone. It goes through Andrews' legs, comes back to the blue line. Converse shot is gloved by McCabe, and he's going to hold on for the face-off as he's got a Raider, Corey David, right behind him. And now Massena will come out with the Seth service line. Service, Courier, and O'Shea with 2:57 remaining in the third period. Massena leads 4-3 on the Bob Post State Farm Insurance scoreboard.
And again, you don't want those, certainly the defensemen, pinching down for any reason. And even on this faceoff, I'd keep a third forward back high. I wouldn't run three across. You want to watch the weak side away from the play. Make sure that that wing stays back. Oops, made a line change again.
Yeah, they did as Blaze's line comes out. Potsdam dumps it to the Massena line. Rochford is there, and it's back inside Potsdam territory. Here's Kelleher trying to move it out. Hughes knocks it down. Massena just pinching in. It's Blaze digging for it. Now Charleboy comes up with it. Flips it ahead to the blue line. Kept in by Dion. He winds up shot. Nice save by Grant. And now Blaze is down. Down the ice. Here comes Potsdam. Across the blue line. Dumped right back out. Here's a shot. Knocked down in front by Dion. Dion just flips it. And is it going to go far enough for icing? It apparently is. They blow the whistle and icing the call, and the faceoff moves back to the Massena zone.
Raiders got a bad break on that, and I agree with the referee on the icing call, but the Raider defenseman did the right thing. He just angled it off the boards, and it was hopping. If it would have stayed on the flat side, it wouldn't have reached the end, but it got up on its edge and started rolling and gained momentum.
Faceoff will come inside the Massena zone. Converse out to take the draw. Fisher will face off for Potsdam. Off the faceoff. Puck sits in the circle. Converse comes up with it. Lifts it. Whoops. Goes back into the bench. As he tried to lift it out to neutral ice, and they'll face it off again in the Massena zone. 2:11 left in the third period. On the Bob Post State Farm Insurance scoreboard, Raiders lead at 4-3.
And out shooting the Sandstoners 12-3 in this period, but only leading by one.
Face-off Bicknell now off the draw. Puck in the corner. Fisher with it. He gets tied up. Puck squirts free. Spanberg now Fisher. Fisher looks to pass. The check thrown by Kerwin. Spanberg has it knocked away. Potsdam controls. Sharp angle shot. Goes in behind the net. They're going to try to wrap it around, but it's knocked away. And Massena moves it out to center ice. Here comes Frank Joy with it. Joy gets rubbed off the puck and slides it in the zone. Now it's Smith with the puck. For Potsdam in his own end. Moves it ahead. Back the other way comes Aaron Weegar into the Massena zone. Joy pokes it away. Coming up with it is Bicknell in the corner. He flips it ahead for Weegar. Weegar in behind the net, tied up by Kerwin. Now the puck will be whistled dead. And with 1:23 left in the third period, face off again in the Massena zone with 4-3 score for the Raiders on the Bob Post State Farm Insurance scoreboard.
Again, Captain Frankie Joy led that charge out of his own end, but again, when he gets across that red line, all he wants to do is just dump that puck. He doesn't want to lead the rush down.
And that's
there.
what he did. He stopped right at the blue line.
With some help from the Potsdam defenseman.
Okay, McCabe will take the face-off. Yes, indeed, against Adam Blaze.
1:23 left in this third period. 4-3 Raiders.
Okay, here we go. Face-off left side. Jockeying for position. Off the draw, comes back to the blue line. Kelleher winds up through traffic way wide. Puck trickles to the blue line. Here's another shot. Deflected. Side of the net. Massena moves it ahead and out to center ice. Here comes Lapointe. And the puck almost ended up here as Yulin took a whack at it. Down to 1:09 left in the third period.
What a play by number 5, Mike Dion, to get that puck out of harm's way. Just an outstanding heads-up defensive play as he dove and knocked the puck out of the zone.
Off the face-off, Massena wins the draw. Rochford over to Dion, ahead to Pribble, and Pribble ices it. Oh boy, not a smart move there, as he just dumped the puck right off the face-off and iced it. And I think perhaps he thought he was further ahead than he was.
It's, again, ice awareness. He wasn't exactly sure what he was. He thought he was at the red line, but he was about 3 feet shy. And we seemed, they had about 4 or 5 face-offs down in this one spot, and the Raiders have been dodging the bullet. They can't give the Sandstoners that too many opportunities. 1:02 left.
McCabe will take the face-off against Blaze. Puck sits in the circle. Lapointe flips it ahead. It's out to center ice. Here comes Pribble with it, and he's just going to dump it right on Grant, and he leaves it in behind the net. Rips it around the boards. Puck bounces, kept in by Blaze. Dumps it in behind the net. Larry Allen with it. About 44 seconds left. Bangs it down the ice. Rochford right back to Lapointe at the blue line. Dumps it back inside Potsdam territory. Here's Allen with it. Allen dumps it to the Massena line. Rochford is there, flips to an open wing. Here's Corey David. David dumps it in the Potsdam zone. 24 seconds left. Potsdam trying to move it out of the zone. Kerwin pinches up, dumped right back in the Potsdam zone. 15 seconds left. In behind the net. Puck trickles free. Comes back to Corey David. David slides it right on. 7 seconds. 5. The puck iced. Down the ice it goes. In behind the net. And did the whistle blow? The game is over, apparently. Oh, boy, what a big win for the Massena Red Raiders. What an unbelievable big win for the Red Raiders. And the Raiders win it 4-3 and go to the championship on Saturday against the Canton Golden Bears. And David, pretty exciting. Again, the final 4-3. Stay tuned for the post-game show on WMSA.
Ladies and gentlemen, advancing to the Section 10 Division I championship, the Massena